Contract talks with Salah still seem away, still not going great on that aspect. Kerkez price has been set, but will the Reds go for him? Will you guys want him at that price? Hincapie's been linked again. Chelsea apparently are willing to pay the asking price for Kelleher, and FSG could be buying another football club. Sit back, relax. It's the Monday Night Live show. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
Two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Yes, lovely people. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Drift, how you doing this evening, bro?
I'm all right. I think we've had a break from Liverpool, so it's kind of made me appreciate more it's coming back. So I'm a little bit more excited, even though the Trent stuff was a little depressing. But yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Yourself?
Not too busy, not too bad. The usual.
Long day, but is what it is.
Every day is a long day. How are you feeling about the Trent stuff now? Given that, you know, like, I don't know if you saw the video of him going into the training ground today, McAllister giving him a look like, are you dumb, bro?
No, you know, I haven't been able to catch up on any Liverpool stuff today, but in terms of how I feel about it, time's a healer, right? So the longer you deal with the situation, the easier it's meant to get. So maybe I don't have the vim I had, say, a week ago, but I don't change my stance on the situation. So how much vim I have towards him might diminish, but I still believe that how I felt at the beginning is the real reality. Just a little betrayed by him leaving. Can't believe he ran his contract down. If he has planned it, it's very snaky. Yeah, I'm not going to change my stance on that. I'll just be less angry the same way I'm less angry at Torres, the way I'm less angry at, you know, all the other people that left and it annoyed me. So
Fairs. Don't want to make this a Trent show though, but he is one player that seems to be moving on a free at the end of the season. Another person that it looks as though it's going to be Mo Salah as well. If rumors are believed to be true, the Egyptian king is still a way away from securing a contract. It is reported that he is still keen to stay at Liverpool, but there remains a discrepancy in the length of contract he wants and what the club are prepared to give him, according to Footy Insider 247. Drift, we've gone back and forth about this a little while now. Do you think the club, considering we're about to lose Trent on a free, do you think the club kind of has to bow into his demands and just be like, look, we've lost one player on a free. We're not in a position to just be losing world-class players on a free. Do we just need to bite the bullet and sometimes don't let pride take, you know, effect in the situation?
all right, before I answer your question, can I ask you a question so I can see whether you're on the same page as me? If I asked you to give me a bad example of a player being world class and being given a good contract that, you know, the club were a bit skeptical about, could you give me one?
Probably say Aubameyang.
Okay. The only other one I can think of is Ozil, but then I'm thinking the common denominator is Arsenal are crap. So I'm trying to think like,
are we talking about just contract extensions or transfers as well?
No. If we just go into the realms of a player who's in mid-30s, say, or somewhere around that bracket.
Sorry to cut you, Drift. Yeah. Apologies, manners. Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters out there as well. Hope you're having a fantastic Eid. God bless you all, man. And I know obviously Ramadan is a month of reflection and also a tough month regarding fasting and stuff. So big up to you guys getting for another Ramadan and Eid Mubarak. Apologies that I didn't address that sooner. Sorry, Drew.
No, well said. Well, I forgot as well. So you're right. Well said, bro. Well said. Yeah. So I'm thinking completely from a point of view of, bro, like you've got like let's say 32 onwards. So you're in that, which is called a twilight part of your career, right? And you're world class you're top quality. You definitely have a value to the club right now. Forget the future. Right now, you have a massive value to the club. Is there an example outside of Arsenal? Because I know it's going to sound shady, but the only two I can think of is them, and the common denominator is they might just be crap, don't know what they're doing, whatever. But can you think of any other example outside of Arsenal where a Twilight player, footballer, is given a big contract while valuable to the club and is backfired on that club?
I can't off the top of my head. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe my mind isn't. I can't off the top of my head. I can think of examples the other way. Modric's got a new contract, been doing well. Thiago Silva got bare contract extensions at Chelsea, was doing well.
Ibrahimovic.
I can't.
I mean, I'm going to stop you having to rack your brain. The point is that we're both on the same page then. I really don't get how it can be seen as more negative than positive to just give Mo and Virgil contracts. And you know what? Sometimes if the risk doesn't pay off, okay, you live with that. But isn't it a worse risk that you let them both go, and in 2 or 3 years' time, bro, we're sitting here, and one's at Madrid and one's at Inter Milan, and they've just won the Champions League and they've just won the league, and they're still doing well. And we're like, we used to have those players, and for some reason, we didn't think they were good enough anymore. Do you get what I mean? Like that, I'm more think that is the reality that would happen with Virgil and Mo if we didn't sign them. Then them, then them kind of falling off a cliff, and then because what's falling off a cliff for Mo? He only gets 15 contributions in the league instead of 30. Like, is that really falling off though, bro? He's already 3 times ahead of everybody else anyway, bro. You know what I mean, bro? So what's a fall off? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's weird, bro. Like what's a fall off for Virgil? He leans a little bit more on Ibu now than Ibu leans on him. Whoop-de-doo. He's 35 now. Is that not what's going to happen? Like what is the what is the I don't, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird, but hey, it is what it is.
I'm gonna ask you a question again, Drew. If Mo's asking for a 4-year contract, do you think that's unreasonable?
4 years? Yeah, that I don't know. For Virgil, Virgil's 33. Yeah, 4 years is a big ask.
Why is it unreasonable? Because I'm gonna throw back an argument saying that look, in 2 years' time, if Salah's still not putting up trees, he's still got 2 years left on the deal. I think you can still sell Salah to Saudi. If Virgil were the same in 2 years' time, isn't pulling up trees, I think you can still sell Virgil for a small amount, but still sell him.
But I mean, all right, so there's 2 things. We got to hope that the Saudi League continues to pour money into Europe.
Which they will. Is Salah. We're talking about Salah. I'm not saying Virgil going to Saudi. I'm talking Salah. Salah.
Yeah.
Salah can be 45. They'll still offer him a contract.
Yeah.
The reason I say this, Drift, is for me, if they have 2 more good years and then in the 3rd year they start to wane, I don't think they'll become such a hindrance where they cost us games. I think there'll be players who you can go, all right, chill on the bench, you'll get limited minutes, but you're still a big figure in the dressing room. You're still a big figure if we bring you off the bench. Look, we could be in a game where it's 2-1 and you're thinking, right, we need to close this game out. I've got 10 minutes left. And you look over and you go, let's get Virgil on, go free at the back, get Virgil on.
Yeah.
We could be drawing a game 1-1 and you go, we need a goal here, 10 minutes left, get Salah on. I mean, I can think of worse situations to be in, personally.
Oh, 100%. But then the wages would be the only thing, right? Where
we're not paying extortionate wages to other players. Can you not just balance it out?
Or, I don't know if this is even possible, but is there a way to actually have something in the contract that says after 2 years, your wages would decrease or depend on how many games you played, maybe? Is there a way you could do that?
They ain't doing that.
No, but they might do because I don't mean diminish ridiculously. Like, say, bro, you went from 350 basic to 200 basic after the 2-year period. So you get 4 years, but the first 2 years, and then the way to make it up to be back to 350 is appearances. So, like, if you get to the point of that part of your career where you are still playing 35, 45 games a season, then you get paid because you're clearly good enough. if you start to play less games because you're not quite as good anymore, then it comes down to a level where he's still 200 grand a week as a 35 or 36-year-old is still good wages, bro. If a 36-year-old footballer is getting 200 grand a week, that's good wages, bro.
They ain't taking that though, bro.
You don't think they would, no?
Brother, if I'm Mo's agent and Liverpool present that on the table, I would laugh, spit my apple juice out and say, try again, big man.
What, more so than you would if they said just a 2-year deal? So your contract's going to be over anyway by then.
If I'm Mo's agent, I'm saying, Mo, do you want a 2-year deal? And if he's saying no, the minimum I'm taking 3 years, I'm going back to them. And if they turn around and say the most we're doing is 2 years, I'm going back like, Mo, you got to make a decision.
Okay.
Remember,
and again, I'm just spitballing here. I'm not saying it's
the job of the agent is not to appease the club; it is to get the best deal for his client, or the deal the client.
Yeah. Of course. So, no, but I'm if you're a good agent, though, I would probably say that your job is also to make sure that your client understands realistic expectations and stuff like that. Like keep him grounded. You can't have a 37-year-old client who still wants 400 grand a week and be like, "This is stupid." Come on.
At 37, we can have that conversation. But here's the thing: if let's say Mo gets 400k for his next contract per week, do you know how much money Mo brings into the club commercially? That
of course,
pretty much paid for itself. So I don't get the and ahhing. If it was me, I'd probably offer a 3-year contract. Me personally, maybe this is why I'll never be running the club, but 4 years. If Mo says, "Look, I need 4 years. I want 4 years," I'm doing it.
All right. What would you prefer then, as a player, and then as a club? So 2-part question. As a player, would you prefer 400 grand a week for 3 years, or 350 for 4?
Sorry, say that again.
Would you rather 400 grand a week for 3 years, or 350 a week for 4 years?
350 for 4.
Okay. And as a club, would you rather pay a player 350 for 4 years or 400 for 3 years?
As a club, probably 400 for 3 years, isn't it?
So do you think that might be where the sticking point could be? Maybe not so much so perfectly on that, but that will be what they're arguing about right now. That from the club's point of view.
I think the sticking point is they want to reset. Now, I'm going to...
shit, you think they want to get rid?
I'm going to propose something to you. Who are three outfield players in the team who you think go, I don't want to be rotated, I want to start regardless? Who are the 3 players in the starting level would you say are like that?
The 3 players
that will throw a strop potentially if they're dropped for 2 games in a row, or if they're not started in a big game. Who do you think the 3 outfield players are?
Based on their character, because we don't have characters that throw strops.
I'm not saying they're idiots or anything, but they've still got an ego about them. You have to have an ego if you're a top professional footballer.
Yeah.
Who would you say the 3 are?
Virgil, Trent, and Mo.
All right, we're getting somewhere now. I just reel you in there, yeah. You see, I just reeled you in there.
Oh, flipping hell.
Check this out. I'm just throwing a proposal here.
Yeah.
What's our biggest frustration sometimes is that, bro, why isn't Virgil getting a rest? Why isn't Mo getting a rest? Why is Trent playing this game? But we know their characters. We've seen it before. We've seen Salah have arguments with Klopp on the sideline. We've seen Salah rip off the wristband and dash it on the floor when he gets subbed off. We see Virgil go bench. We've seen Trent have to have a talking to by Slot because he was substituted and then throw a strop after the game. Is there a possibility where the club have gone, look, we rely on having a big squad. Salah here expects to start most games. Virgil expects to start most games, and so does Trent. We're not opposed to keeping them, but we're not going to pull up trees to keep them, because if we let them go, we can bring in players in a player or 2 in that position where we say from the off, you're not guaranteed minutes. You got to work your way into the team, and you'll be rotational because we want to fight for multiple trophies. So come April, May, you're all not knackered because you're not playing too many minutes. Do you think there's a world where the club have gone, if you let Mo go and you bring in, let's say, Mbuemo, You can say to Mbromo, look, you're sitting down for the next couple of games. Harvey Elliott's playing. You can't say that to Mo, really. Trent going, you can say to Bradley, we're bringing in X right back. You and X right back are going to rotate. You're not guaranteed starter. You can say to a Schlotterbeck, you'll start some games and another centre back will start other games as well. Do you think that could be what could be happening?
To a degree.
What's your thoughts on something like that happening?
I don't like that. I don't like
Why don't you like it? By the way, I want to be clear. I don't like it either, but why don't you like it? Because, I mean, it could be a thing where coming into the season, players are fresher and players could potentially win.
Yeah, no, that's not the part I don't like, bro. The part I don't like is the fact that you would think that you need to downgrade in order to control your players and have some sense of
player power is a real thing, no drift.
I get it, but I would always want my team to have a power structure where the manager still gets the respect of the last say without any real problems.
What if Slot's on board with it?
Oh, no, he wouldn't be. What, that he can't tell a player what to do when yeah, no way, bro. No way. You got to be a proper yes man to be okay with that.
Not like necessarily. Again, this is not me saying I want this, but he could be sitting there going, it's long having to deal with Salah on a Monday morning when I drop him. Maybe if I get two other right wingers.
Do you think so, though? When you're a man of as much pride and want to win as somebody like Slot, who wants to be the best.
I also think Slot backs himself to coach a team to win stuff as well. I
agree with that. So, all right. So if we're going along that premise, that would be the hierarchy making more the decision than Slot of thinking like this player's a bit of a headache.
Not even a headache. I'm just thinking they're going, we need a reset. We need new squad players. How can we sell a I'm saying what people say to me, by the way, because you know what? I wanted Elise last summer to come to Liverpool. They could be going, how can we go and get Mbeumo when Salah's there? We can't sell this to Mbeumo. Salah goes, we can sell this to Mbeumo and maybe Shirky. They could rotate for that right wing spot. How can we sell a prospect to Schlotterbeck when you're the left-sided centre-back? And who plays left-sided centre-back for Liverpool? The best in the world. I can't sell this project to Schlotterbeck. What am I going to say? You're going to leave Dortmund where you're guaranteed starter to come to Liverpool where you get minutes here or there. Maybe if Schlotterbeck comes in and Virgil goes and then we get another centre-back, those two centre-backs come in and it's a clean slate. We both battle for the left-hand side.
I'll be so disappointed if the club felt that they needed to move them on.
Sorry, Drift, again to cut you. Shout out to Ayub. Enrique at PSG's got rid of some big names and look at them as a team now.
But I think even though I'm not saying that he's wrong in what he's saying because it's factually correct that that's what happened, I would probably say the only reason we can't go down that road, bro, is we've got those players part of our team. They've been part of the success, and there was a very good balance to what it was. Whereas I think at PSG, what Enrique realized is the hierarchy just tried to do the Galactico thing, but they didn't put any real thought into how it would work. And then Enrique came in and went, guys, this isn't because these players are crap. It's just not working because of the profile. Let me show you what I think it would be. And then they've gone down a profile route where they've gone for players who more suit what it is rather than the name. PSG for so many years just wanted to do the name Galactico. Like they got Ramos for free as an example because he was just Ramos. We all knew he was done at that point. What was the point in them even signing him? But they wanted to gloat. They wanted to look like they'd got the vintage Gucci bag. Do you get what I mean? Like it was all a flex. Everything PSG used to do was about a flex. So I think it's very difficult to compare us with them because I think their reset needed to happen. Our reset doesn't need to happen at all. You just build on top of it. And I don't care if with all due respect to him, because we use this example a lot, and it's not to be shady, it's just because he's a legend. If Virgil becomes the James Milner role within maybe 2 or 3 years, so be it. Do you really think I care? Virgil's on 350, 400 grand a week at 36 years old because he only plays 10 times a season. But in the dressing room, he's still there, still helping the youngsters, still playing his part, playing well when he does come on for the odd game. And on top of that, he's also still club captain or, so he speaks for the club and he's still like a part of it all. Do you really think I care? Like, and the club shouldn't either. Everything at Liverpool is just way too much about business, man.
Sorry, this
you know what I mean?
Sorry. so random, Sadiq.
that is really random.
God flex. Time to
I just don't get why. And here's the thing: I don't know if other fan bases do or don't do this. Maybe I'm being too general when I say this, but I feel like Liverpool fans are the only ones, Cal, that get forced to talk about wages. I'll be honest with you. Other than the odd Arsenal conversation about wages because of Jesus and Havertz, I barely hear other fans ever talk about the wages, bro.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever hear a Man U, a Man City, a Chelsea? Do you ever hear them have to talk about this player can't be a player at our club because this will be the wage and this? Tottenham are the only other fan base that have to have that conversation. With all due respect, we're on the same level of Tottenham for anything. We're fucking doing something wrong.
I mean, Chelsea are selling their women's team back to themselves.
Bro, you can't even describe to people outside of football the level of cheekiness of that cheating.
Yeah.
How? But anyway, we can talk about those cheats another day. You get what I'm saying, though? That the point remains: Real Madrid, Barcelona's a bad example because they do talk about wages, but the majority of the top clubs, the fan base doesn't have to have this wage conversation when it comes to players. They just think about whether the club's doing well enough at that time to get that player. Does that player like the idea of playing for that club? That's the only conversation they have to have. They don't have to worry about their club turning around and going, Mo Salah, the best right winger in world football. Nah, he's not worth it. We're the only club that has to have that conversation. Why?
Right. Now I'm still gonna stop playing devil's advocate now, and I'm gonna be back to myself. If Mo and Virgil say they love the club like they do and they want to stay, why are they making it so difficult to sign contracts?
Hold on a minute. What heel turn is this?
This is not a heel turn. I told you who I am. You know who I am. I put my arms out last week and said I wanted to be accepted into a certain group.
Yeah,
Why?
but that isn't really you, though. That's the point. So I'm getting a bit confused now.
No, it's me now. It is me now. I told you I'm done fighting against a system where I can't win.
So if you can't beat them, join them, yeah?
Damn straight, bro. Why won't they sign contracts for 2 years if they love the club and want to stay so much?
All right, do you want the real answer or shall I keep playing the game?
This is not a game, bro. Not from my side anyway.
All right, let's play the game. Let's play the game. All right, the reason why they won't is because they're thinking about themselves in that moment. And deep down, there's a part of them that might even know.
So they're selfish. They don't really love the club like they say they do. Then.
No, you can love something or somebody and still be selfish in a moment.
This is not a moment. This has been going on for almost a season now. We're about to win
across the whole career, it would be considered a moment.
One's a captain, one's the most loved player at Liverpool. Why don't they sign? If they love the club, like Virgil's come out and said he wants to stay, Salah's come out and wants to stay. He's been offered a contract. Why not sign it?
Look, being selfish, that's the only answer I have.
Why do we want selfish players at the club?
I mean, it's not selfish if you're thinking about your family to your family. So I can understand it. I can empathize.
It's 350k and 220k a week not enough nowadays?
I don't know. You told me, bro.
I mean, apparently, you
told me. You know what? It is enough, but people watch face. So they'll look at other players in their same position and think, if they get that, then I want to get.
This means more. This is Liverpool. If I turn around to you right now and said, Drift, I'm going to triple your wage, would you say, oh, so unless it's quadruple, I'm not really interested?
No, but who's getting triple the wage, though?
No, I'm just saying. If I was to say to you right now,
oh yeah, of course,
you'd be grateful. Right?
Does my job description remain the same, or am I gonna have to do some bookie shit?
Job description remains the same. Ain't no Diddy party.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Why wouldn't I?
So why aren't they signing a contract?
Because they're not getting triple the amount, bro. They're getting the same amount.
Is that not enough?
You would hope.
How many 33-year-olds out there are on 220k a week and able to manage to be captain of one of the biggest clubs in the world. And how many 32-year-olds out there on 350k a week, plus bonuses, and loved by a fan base? And they still want more.
Off the top of my head, no idea, bro.
So why don't we just bin them off then?
Because that's even more stupid than paying them.
Why is it? We can go and get other players. We don't. Instead of just relying on Salah for output, why don't we get a couple of players and spread the goals and the assists around?
Nah.
Why not?
That's not even possible.
Why is it not possible? He's just a human being.
Yeah, top level.
You get 2 other top levels. When we lost Coutinho, we were told he couldn't replace him. Ox jumped in and said, "Yeah, I've got this."
All right. So as a top red, who would be the replacement so I can jump on the train?
The club have got that in hand. They'll sort that out. I trust them.
You must have someone in mind.
Look, bro, I trust the people who do data, who brought us success in the past, to do the same again.
Oh, this is interesting because even though I know you're bullshitting, I want to talk about this guy. Because I was looked at sideways when I said that bringing him back might not be a good idea. I was really looked at sideways when I said that.
I think it's a fantastic idea. We need someone to be more ruthless at the club. Too much of this nonsense about loyalty and all that.
Okay, so explain this to me on that premise then. When we fall off a cliff because they leave, how do you explain and justify your reasoning?
Well, who says we're going to fall off a cliff?
Well, there's more of a chance that we will than we won't.
Why?
So let's go with that. Let's go with probability.
Why is there more of a chance? I get told Trent can't defend.
Because every metric says that those 3 contribute more than the others to the team. So therefore, with them out the team, the metric is definitely.
Oh, hold on. I saw Conor Bradley against Real Madrid put in an outstanding performance. Didn't miss Trent that day. I've heard
you and Mo still played in that game.
Yeah, Mo missed a penalty. Whoop-de-doo, bro. Firstly, Trent replaced by Conor Bradley, who's more suited to slot style, in my opinion. They ain't got the Hollywood passes, but more suited to slot style. You can talk about the injuries, but we'll get another right back and we'll fill that role. That's not a problem. Virgil, yeah, outstanding centre back, but he's getting old now. Ibu's doing a lot of the heavy lifting anyway, so we'll just get someone to complement Ibu. And as for Mo Salah, yeah, the goals are there, but the performances really ain't. So he's getting goals and assists, but okay, cool. We'll just get someone else to get goals and assists, and we'll have someone to put in better performances throughout the 90 minutes. Plus, when he's not there, the other players will step up and do what they've got to do as well.
Okay. I mean, I don't agree with it, but fair enough.
What don't you agree with?
Any of it. I rate it still. 10 minutes with a straight face. I rate it still.
I told you, I'm done fighting against the club.
But can we have a conversation about Edwards since you brought it up?
If you want to, if you disagree with what I just said, then you're probably not gonna like what I say next.
All right, let me talk to the chat then, and then you could just chime in when you feel like you need to. I was actually looked at sideways when I said that I don't think that him coming back with all this power was a good idea, and for the most part, going back as well. Generally speaking, once somebody leaves the club, it's kind of never really been great if they come back. It's like it's never as good as it was when they were there before. Whatever. I look at this now and I think that he will heavily be involved if all of these players go. I know Hughes is actually the director of football, but Edwards is definitely involved in the decision to let them go. Michael would never let this happen without talking to Edwards. He just wouldn't. I could be wrong in that, and obviously this is all assumptions. And speculation, but I would definitely think that if Hughes is letting a player go of that caliber, he's gonna have a word with Edwards first. He's not just gonna make that decision and Edwards finds out what's happening.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go on.
We need to get this notion out of our heads that Edwards works for Liverpool Football Club. He doesn't. He works for FSG. Edwards works for my owners, FSG, not for Liverpool. He is here to carry out operations for FSG. If there's an issue, take it up with Richard Hughes. Because last time I checked, and I'll repeat, he don't work for Liverpool. He works for Fenway Sports Group.
Okay, so what is the difference in terms of his? Because when you work for Fenway, your job is to make sure everything is as best it can be for everything that they own. So why would Liverpool not be a part of that equation then?
We're about to win the league. It looks pretty good to me, bro.
No, but you know what I mean. Let's talk about contracts as an example in this.
If they don't want to sign, mate,
you don't think that because I still believe, even if you're a director of football, you probably still have to quickly check in with the owners you're about to do it. Like, let's just say, for example, it was the time before when Edwards was a director of football, right? He's still got to ring Hogan or one of them, man, and be like, I'm about to sell Virgil.
The guy who couldn't get the Caicedo deal over the line and put everyone's
money.
No, but
you know what I mean. Like, if he say he was going to sell Virgil, I don't think they can just wake up in the morning and that's the thing. I think he's still got to be like, look, I'm selling Virgil in the morning and get the reaction. Do you get what I mean? Like, I don't think he could just do it.
I tell you that how that conversation goes. John, are you right, Mike? Yeah, not too bad. Look, Virgil's stalling on the contract, doing this, that, and the other. I've told him what the maximum we're going to give him is. This is the data why I'm giving him more than this. You good with it? If we just walk away? Yeah, I trust you. You ain't really steered us wrong in the past. All right, cool. We'll talk soon. Not going to need much funds in the summer because I got a couple gems waiting. These men ain't going to do what they did the last time. You remember when I wanted to sell Hendo and get Bruno Gomes? Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they didn't let me do that. What happened? Fell off a cliff, and Bruno Gomes bullied us the other day in the Carabao Cup final. Don't do that to me again. No, I won't. All right, John, speak soon.
No, and I'm not even saying the conversation wouldn't go like that. That sounds like a pretty John Henry and Edwards conversation. I agree with you. But the point would be he still had to have the conversation, even for the peace of mind of it. Because you might know your girl's going to be okay with you going for a drink with your boys instead of coming home to watch a movie. But you're not just going to go and have the drink. You're still going to make the call and be like, look, babe, with the man them, this is what's going to happen. And then you get the peace of mind when she goes, yeah, sure, babe, we'll watch a film tomorrow. Cool. Rather than you just going to have the drink and you know when you get in, she's going to be like, why didn't you let me know what was going on? Yeah, so I'm not saying that the conversation's for permission.
No, you're right.
But you've got to let man know what's going on, right?
No, yeah, make the call. You don't ask for permission. You make the call and say, I'm going here.
But you're also making the call because it's a possibility that she might turn around and be like,
yeah, it's a respect thing, isn't it? It's a respect thing. You're not begging for freedom, but you're saying, this is where I'm going to be. So there's nothing for you to worry about.
But there's a possibility that she might go, look, I'm not going to get a chance to watch this for another couple of weeks. We've been putting this off for 2 weeks. You just say you're coming home. And then out of respect, you do turn to your boys and go, you know, Buzz, I'm going to go home because it is bad, man. We can go out next week when she's busy. Like, let me go home today because this is the only time she's available. And then you don't go for that drink with your boys. The same way he might say, look, nah, this isn't the right time to let Virgil go. I totally agree with you on all the metrics you've said. But right now, just don't seem right. Let's get it done. Let's keep him. You know, there's still that possibility, which is what the phone call is about. Do you get what I mean? That's what the phone call's about. It's 90% probably going to go the way you want, but even that 10% chance it might go the other way, you still got to make the call to make sure you knew the facts. So therefore, I still think Edwards is getting told any decision Hughes is making before Hughes makes it. Whether or not Hughes is technically the one in charge, I know he's running everything by Edwards, bro. Big decisions like this anyway. They're all getting ran.
Hughes has to run it by Edwards. He has to run it by
Edwards. Edwards will have the final veto. I do believe Edwards will have not Hughes. Edwards will have the final veto. So therefore, Edwards is definitely still a problem if this is happening because he's letting it happen.
Well, he's going off the advice of the experts, isn't he?
Well, he is an expert, so in this situation, he should be able to advise Hughes more than Hughes can advise him.
It's not his job anymore, Drift. His job is to find a new club for FSG. That's his job, to run operation for FSG.
Bro, when Stevie's 25, it's not your job to tell him how to live his life anymore, but you're still going to advise him because you're still his father.
Yeah.
No, so Edwards is still, if he knows better, he's got to tell him. He has to.
But all he can do is give him advice.
No,
I can't tell Stevie how to live his life. I can give him advice.
Steer him, bro.
You know? I can try and steer him, but ultimately Stevie's going to make his own decision at 25, isn't he?
Yeah, but there's nothing in this world that's going to stop you lifting his feet off the ground if he does something disrespectful. He's still a grown man at this point.
That's different, though. If he disrespects, then.
But Hughes selling Virgil's a disrespect, bro.
To who? Who's a disrespect to?
To everybody involved.
So isn't Virgil just being disrespectful by not signing a new contract then?
No.
Why not?
because he's also got to think about his value in the moment. It's all about self-respect, right?
And is 220k not enough for footballers?
And he hasn't been offered one.
So he says. I'm just saying, innit?
Oh, man.
Just saying. Another person was called a rat for leaving on a free, but two other people are being called revolutionary for about to do the same thing. I don't get it. But it's cool. It's cool. Let me help these supers before we move on to the next subject. Shout out to Imran in the chat, says big up my bros, Eid Mubarak to all my brothers and sisters, and big up Misha. Hold on. I can't read the last bit. Big up
Imran. Hey, you know what, Imran? Enjoy yourself, my brother. I'll wait for the official news. I need to congratulate you on in about 3 months. Time.
Yeah, 3 months. And then we'll get the beat again in 9 months' time.
Yeah.
Dini Houdini says, hey fellas, you know what I find annoying? When a club sets a price for a player we want, we never just pay the price. Sometimes just pay and get the player. I disagree, Genie. Sometimes there's negotiations and we're not going to be held over a barrel and milked dry for anyone. If the clubs don't want to adhere, like Jamal Lewis didn't with Norwich, we move on to another target and we go and get a Simicast. We're Liverpool. Teams don't hold us over a barrel. We hold teams over a barrel. That's what we do.
By the way, in 2025, Cal, milk us till we're empty is a pause.
Not in this context. Not in this context. Milk dry. Shout out to Sava, says big up chat. Guys, subscribe to FH TV Plus. Big up chaps. Cal, I see your laptop is working today. What you about? What's that? Sava, I'm gonna give you a shout tomorrow morning, my bro. We'll sort something out, brother. Big up Sava though.
Yeah, big up.
Shout out to Kerkez, says Cal ends and the man them on his channel wanted to debate you, Matt and Drift. Yeah, Enz has got my number. 100% do that. Enz that's our brother right there, man. Whenever Enz is ready, we'll sort something out.
Plenty of discussions on Enz's team. But who was the man them on the channel? Was it rivals or was it Liverpool fans?
No idea. I'm down for that though. Enz is my guy, man. Big up yourself, Sava. I see you in the chat as well, bro. Uncle Rod says top red cow, you know, bumba clock, drift.
I know, Rod. We're boy.
Here I am now. This is who I am now. Also got a birthday in the house. Big up to Johnny. This is for you. Happy birthday, Johnny.
Happy birthday, bro. Big up, man.
Big up yourself, Johnny. Also gonna drop the beat for little Kyrie. It's man like Matt's
man. Come on. Birthday. That's what I was just gonna
Big
say.
up to Kyrie. Happy birthday, Kyrie. Probably sleeping by now, but even still, this is for you, little man. And finally, we're going to drop the beat one more time for all of our Muslim brothers and sisters celebrating Eid as well. Eid Mubarak.
A lot of celebration, so we might as well throw in a skank, you know what
I mean? Keep smashing it, lads. Was class meeting you today. Big up yourself as well, brother. Absolute pleasure meeting you too. Right, let's move on to the next topic. Kerkez. According to reports, Kerkez price has been set at £45 million, and Liverpool are interested, amongst other teams as well, Drift, 45 million for Milos Kerkez. What are you saying?
Big up.
Yeah,
We got our brother in the same too. Yeah. Big up, man.
Jamie. Guys, subscribe to Jamie's channel first and foremost, people. Evening, guys. Penny just had a successful surgery. I'm gonna run the beat back again.
Another celebration.
Big up, Jamie. Big up, Penny and the family. Big up, man. Big up. Love to hear that.
Big up. Great news. So many congratulations messages. I'm not going to be able to bring them all up, but great news. Big up, brother James.
Indeed.
And little Penny, bless her. 45 mil for Kerkez.
Last season, Kerkez played 28 games in the league. He got no goals, 1 assist. This season, he's got 2 goals, 5 assists. £45 million.
Can I answer the question on how I feel about the talent, or can I answer the question, or do I have to answer the question based on being a realistic fan of a club who's got an ownership with no ambition?
Who says we've got no ambition? We're about to win the league.
All right. So
I thought our midfield got bullied and Slot didn't acclimatise to the game against Newcastle, or else that'd have been 2 trophies in the bag. Is it our fault we got played off the park by PSG over 2 legs and Alisson had to pull off heroics? By the way, we got you guys, Alisson. World record 3. Remember that. And is it our fault that we got knocked out? Yeah, is it our fault we got knocked out against Plymouth as well? You know, a team in League One.
But when you said we, you nearly made me call you the N word.
Let me ask serious question. Because what I'm starting to sense is when we win stuff, it's the manager and the players, but when we lose, let's blame FSG. Once again, I'll ask, where is our mural? 2 league titles now. The only team that's got more league titles than us in the last 7 years is Man City, and we all know how many charges they got looming over. Self-sustainable, winning it by not cheating, and 2 league titles. Talk to me now.
All right, so if that's the case, then I'll talk to you from a point of view if it's a player worth it then. All right, this current market that we're in, it probably seems reasonable to pay 45 mil for a fullback who's one of the best in the league. So I guess going off of current market value, I don't really think we can be that annoyed at 45 million. I mean, I don't know what people thought we would pay. I would have thought it would have been 40. So I don't even think it's that far-fetched from what I thought the price would have to pay, really. 35, 40, something like that. So it's not that much more. You know what I mean?
Would he be your friend?
By the way, this is where you're going to be blurring a lot of lines, bro. So you better be very careful. You got to be very careful, bro. You're going to...
I'm looking to go up to Liverpool a couple times this year, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the Top Red Society. I'm done with you lot. Moaning off the games, moaning off the streams. I'm done. We're about to win the league. That's it. We'll paint over Trent's mural if you don't want to stay, and we'll get John W. Henry, the one with the cigar. This one. That one. That's the picture I want to see on the wall. 2 league titles. We've won every single trophy under their tutelage. Some of them we've won 3 times. Carabao Cup 3 times. League twice. Champions League. FA Cup. All the belts. All the belts.
Well, 45 mil ain't the worst.
Would it be your first choice, though? Because I know
at this point, he's definitely probably in the top 2 or 3 of my choices. Yeah, if I'm being totally honest, probably. James FC, that's wild.
then we'll get you arrested, bro. We'll get you arrested.
Oh, fucking hell.
We'll report you for indecent exposure.
What would be the other choices? So Hato, and then
Gutierrez.
But even you think he's going back to Real Madrid, right?
I reckon so, especially with Alphonso Davies signing a contract extension.
Yeah. So let's rule him out then. So you got Hato, Kerkez, and then after that, I mean, in terms of available left backs, there's not many, is there?
Ain't Nori still there? A lot of people from like the Cooper from Bruges as well. I've not seen much of him to comment.
I don't know much about him. There's not many, and I mean, Hato people are saying would only be about 25 mil. So from a financial point of view, you're thinking it's easier to go for him than it is Kerkez. But then you've also got the fact that Kerkez does have the experience to prove that, you know, the hustle and the bustle of the Premier League he can handle. You're not sure if Hato can handle that. That's not to say it's not worth it, but
is Kerkez £20 million better than Hato right now, though?
Well, what you would be considering is it worth paying an extra 20 more for a player that has less adaptation? That would be the better way to look at it. Or you could also look at it, would it be better to pay 45 more for a specialist than to pay 20 more less for a utility squad player, which is what Hato would probably become.
Or shout out to Jennifer, do we just get Beck back off loan?
Well, that's the real top red thing to do.
Or is that not the smart thing to do?
All right, can you be a non-top red just for a second so I can ask you a genuine question?
I'll try, but I don't like being in that space. But go on.
Is it a cop-out or is it sensible for Bradley to just take the throne?
Beck, you mean?
When Trent goes. No, when Trent goes, because let's talk about what's actually happening. So Trent is going. Is it lazy? Is it being cheap? Or is it actually just sensible and it does make sense to make Bradley the heir to the throne for right back?
Sensible.
And is that not top red cow? Like, I just want real cow. Is that how you feel about it?
What do you mean you want real cow?
I want real cow.
Do you want real cow, or do you want me to play?
I want you to stop being Oliver at a black play just for a second.
You want me to play devil's advocate? You want me to play devil's advocate? The devil's advocate in me would say Bradley picks up a lot of injuries and might not be as good as some people have made him out to be. So therefore, we should potentially get another right back. But Callum is saying, run with Bradley. Better than Trent anyway, I've been told. Calvin Ramsey's coming back off loan soon.
Bloody hell, I forgot we even had him. Flipping hell. That's crazy. I actually forgot we had him.
But how good is it sometimes when you go in the cupboard and you find that snack that you didn't realize you had and it's still in date?
Or that top that's still got the tag on it that you forgot you hadn't worn yet.
That's that Calvin Ramsey right there.
But Calvin Ramsey could be the top that you took so long to pop the tag on. It's out of fashion now.
Bring it back into fashion. Add a couple of accessories and make it work.
Fashion don't wait for no one, bro.
But should we say Owen Beck can't get the chance now?
Is he? Because I changed my mind and I go back and forth a lot because you'll be interested to know that maybe Steffi B could have a future at Liverpool. Just maybe.
With all due respect, Drift, I love you like a brother. This is one boat you're not getting on. And that goes for bare of you in the comments as well. I told you lot about Bichette. You see,
so hold on. What you're saying is I showed you I've got the stamp before I left to go out, and you're still not going to let me back in the club. Even though I was already in. I have the stamp, bro. I was in the club.
I told you, bro, you can't go McDonald's and bring food in.
I'm hypoglycemic, bro.
Did you see his performance against the Germany under 21s?
Yeah. All right. So maybe
We
Beck.
don't need to sign a centre midfielder. Steffi B's coming back.
Okay, so based on that premise, then maybe Beck and Steffi B, maybe they can be the ones then. Maybe
some homegrown talent, some players you don't have to register, lower wages as well. My type of club.
Maybe Bradley, Beck, Percetage. We got the academy. We got the academy on lock, bro. Is what it is.
La AXA. Domination soon come. I'm telling you, soon come.
Do you know what is actually funny? Yeah, even if you became the perfect Denzel YouTube top redder and you just perfected this act, the point where you would have your breaking moment would definitely be when the window's about to shut. We haven't played. And it'll just be a full meltdown out of nowhere. I'll be like, what the fuck is going on? That would be absolutely hilarious.
That version of me is gone. Brother, I found a grey hair in my head recently. Bro, I can't be taking on more stress. I've got 3 kids. I got a wife, work. I can't be taking Liverpool on this stress. So as I said, why fight against a thing that I'm always losing against? I could just join the team and win. Do you know how many more championships? Do you know how many more championships Stone Cold Steve Austin would have got if we weren't beefing Vince McMahon?
I hear it.
I'm done being the anti-hero now.
This is also my worry. I think Russell's actually got a point. What if Hughes does just stay at the level that he's been at and just think that those are the type of players because it's easy to do, and he does just go and get, because remember, 2 out of our targets are Bournemouth players.
Hang on. Do we not all rate Bournemouth as a team now?
So you think that our whole recruitment, say we got Semenyo, we got Kerkez.
You rate Semenyo. You rate Semenyo.
I do, but I don't know if he's good enough to take Liverpool to a Champions League, though.
He's not.
Do you know what I mean? I rate him. Of course, Semenyo's a good player, but I don't know if he's good enough to take Liverpool to the Champions League.
He don't have to do it by himself.
So what if we got Huijsen, Semenyo, and Kerkez, which is actually bloody realistic, which is quite scary. That could quite easily be Liverpool summer, and we treat Bournemouth like Southampton. Remember, we used to do that to Southampton. We used to just take all their talent.
Premier League experience. And they know the league. Semenyo this season so far is on 7 goals and 4 assists at Bournemouth. 25 coming into his peak years. Kerkez, many considered to be one of, if not the best left back in the league. And Huijsen looks like he's going to be one of the best centre backs in the world in years to come. Sounds like a win-win-win to me.
All I do is
win-win-win. F everything else. Win-win-win-win.
I might take a copyright strike to play that when the league confirms, you know.
Another FSG league, by the way.
Another thing as well is that I'm very intrigued about with people is when we're looking at someone like Kerkez, that means we're talking about players of that category. So with all due respect, I do think people like Mbeumo are in that same category, right? Play for lesser teams. You're not quite sure if they're ready for the step up, but they're doing very well where they are. I know we've always sat and we've always said it's not about where we shop and how much we spend, just doing what it takes to get the quality, right? So we've always said it doesn't matter if it's 3, 10 mil or 100 mil. If that's the player that's got the quality, just get that player. Would we be, and this is to the chat as well, would we be disappointed if all of Liverpool shopping is at Lidl and Aldi's, even if it's a banging Aldi special? So, for example, Mbeumo would be considered a banging Aldi special, but he wouldn't even be sold in M&S.
Mbeumo's Tesco.
Would you say that? Okay.
Of course he is. It's Tesco's. For anyone saying that Semenyo's stats aren't good enough, how many of you want Kudus? Kudus on 3 goals, 1 assist this season. Semenyo's outperforming him. And Mbeumo's this season so far for Brentford is on 15 goals and 5 assists. And his birthday's 3 days after mine. think his birthday might be the same day as Jamie's, if I'm not mistaken. Win sounds to me. Tesco, every little helps.
So I'm just doing slow mode because of these idiots.
I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I just don't know what more's needed to prove that we're doing a stellar job. I don't know.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
It just sounds like a bunch of ungrateful fans who will never be satisfied. We could win the quad, and there'll still be people who moan. Imagine that.
No, I don't think that's right.
Okay.
Nah, no one would moan if we won the quad. I know we got a lot of moaners in our fan base, but no one's moaning if we win the quad.
A9, that's harsh. What we need is a loan review. Loan you with your curse card. Okay. Bit harsh.
Maybe top red cow, there won't be a curse anymore. Maybe the curse is your optimism.
Oh, so you do think there's a curse after all? You let someone speak long enough. People, let this be a lesson. You let people speak long enough, and the truth will always reveal it. I know where I stand with you now, Drew. I see it. I see it. On to another topic. Kelleher. Obviously, it's the worst kept secret, or one of the worst kept secrets in football, that he'll probably be moving on in the summer. Chelsea are one of the teams interested in that. Apparently, they are willing to pay between the 30 and 40 million pound asking price for the Liverpool goalkeeper. Firstly, do you think that's a good price point for Kelleher? And secondly, is there a risk to selling Kelleher to a team that could potentially become a rival of ours?
Yeah, massive risk. Massive risk. Because if Chelsea become a team that can win the league with a top goalkeeper, which is one of only 3 positions I think they need to improve on to be a title contending team, you don't want to be a part of that. You really don't. The price is good though. I'll be honest, 45 mil for Kelleher would be good. We have to be honest. Like, a lot of us have spoken about it, thought we'd only get 20, 25 mil for him. So to get 45 for him, that's definitely good money. 100%.
It says a lot in it, George. It says a lot, man. Do you think 45? Do you think we will get that amount though? Because it's one thing saying we want that amount. It's obvious the player wants to go because they want more minutes. Do we even have power in this situation? Because teams could just wait out and go, look, we're not going to keep.
What's he got? 1 more year left at the end of this year?
Let me actually check. Let me check. Kelleher's does 1 more year.
So he's in the Ibu situation where he's
another selfish player. He won't sign a contract and running down his contract. Another one. We brought Kelleher through as well. And this is how he repays us, by letting his contract run down so we can get a cheap move over to another team.
This is the year we've got to sell him unless we give him a new contract.
Why do we need?
But you know why FSG won't give him a new contract? Because the poor man's only on 10 grand a week.
No, we ain't giving him a new contract because we just bought Mamadashvili. Future-proof drift. That's what it's called. Unless he wants to stay and be a man and fight for his spot, then he can bounce, bro. We only want men round here. If he's too much of a wuss to fight for his spot, he can bounce. When generals and soldiers, not passengers, bro. If you want to be a passenger, go grab an Uber. Said it. I'm saying the stuff you guys don't want to hear, innit? As my mum would say, who want vex, who want please. Kelleher's leaving because he can't dislodge a goalkeeper. That's why he's leaving.
I don't really know what to do with this information.
Tell me I'm lying. God, tell me I'm lying.
I don't know what to do with this information, bro.
Am I telling a lie? Am I lying?
Yeah.
So what lies have I told? Why does Kelleher want to leave? Because he wants to play more minutes. So he doesn't
No,
back
I do think playing more minutes is part of it, but I also think he's undervalued. 10 grand a week, bro. That's insane. How can you play as many games for Liverpool Football Club as Kelleher has and only get 10 grand a week?
40 grand a month is what some people make in a year's salary. He's all right.
Yeah, but we're talking about footballers.
Oh, well. Maybe his agent should have got him a better deal back in the day, innit?
What you mean 4 years ago when he was a youngster?
But he's the one that don't want to sign a new contract because he wants to leave, bro. He don't back himself.
We haven't offered him one. We haven't offered him a
contract. He don't back himself to become Liverpool #1 goalkeeper, does he?
We have not offered Kelleher a contract.
Not recently, we ain't, because he wants to leave. He wanted to leave last summer.
Yeah, because he's on a shit contract.
You think I want my lot begging him to stay for another year? Nah, miss me out, man. He'll live. And so will we. Got Mamadashvili coming in. And you know what Mamadashvili does? Backs himself to be #1 against the best goalkeeper in the world. If other guy, let me go. Let me play some minutes. Let me go. I want to play more football. Let me go. Go then. Grass ain't greener, bro. You'll find out the hard way, though. You both be in goal for Chelsea. See how they treat you if you made that mistake that you made against Newcastle.
All right, let's see if Cal can stay in character. So he's on so little money that the man them on the roads make more than him, bro.
Do those men pay taxes and can they sleep with their heads on the pillow knowing that they're safe? No, they can't. Because there's another
safe in their ends.
There's another Duchesne waiting around the corner to take what they've built. Kelleher is getting good money. He's getting legally taxed. Probably got a few loopholes there. Characters doing their thing.
This was gonna send you still. Oh, man said you got a beard and then you started moving different.
Good joke still.
They should have never gave you Nick follicles.
That's a good joke. That's a good joke. But go on, why hasn't he back himself?
Now, he hasn't been offered a contract, bro.
No, but why hasn't he back himself? Because if he backed himself, he'd sign a new contract. Where's he going to go that's better than Liverpool?
But he hasn't been offered a contract, bro.
Where is he going to go that's better than Liverpool, Drift? He ain't going Real Madrid. He ain't going Bayern Munich. Nowhere. But yet he still wants to leave.
Because he's on 10 grand a week.
Oh, boo-hoo, brother. You think he has to pay for flights here and there? You think he has to pay for trips when we go to Europe? And he barely paid for anything. You think he's got to pay for his own meal at the AXA? What's he even paying for?
No. But when you have a situation where you might not have anything career-wise after football, you have to make enough money that when you retire, you've got a retirement fund. 10 grand a week, you will not have a retirement fund at the end of football, bro.
Make smart investments.
Bro, I know 40 grand a month is insane money to an average person. But if your career only lasts till you're 35.
He's on almost $500,000 a year, and you're telling me he's struggling.
No, I'm not saying he's struggling, but $500,000 a year doesn't set you up for the rest of your life. You take half of that away and you
set me up.
Nah, if you take 20% of that away, if you take 20% away in taxes for that or more because he's in a higher tax bracket, and then you think about just living a normal lifestyle regardless, by the end of your football career, if you earn $500,000 a season, maybe you'd have £1 million in your savings. £1 million isn't getting you to the end of your life if you retire at 35 and die at 80.
Smart investment.
So therefore, you need to make sure you earn way more than that.
Why can't he buy a couple of properties and then rent them out, bro?
Not everybody's smart enough or has the know-how to do that type of stuff.
That ain't our problem, bro.
It isn't, but that's besides the
Not our
point.
problem. We ain't running a retirement home. We're running a successful football club.
Mm.
And business is booming.
It's not enough. It's just not enough.
That's not our problem. Go somewhere else and get more money then, innit? See if you're happy.
That's what he wants to do, bro.
Let him go then, innit? We got Mama coming in.
Could be another mistake.
What, Mama?
Yeah.
Why is Mama a mistake?
Swapping Kelleher for Mama could become a mistake.
We'll see.
There is no proof that Mama's better than Kelleher.
When was the last time we made a mistake for a player signing? When was the last time?
Some are just gone, according to most people.
Who was that? The person who scored our only goal in the Carabao Cup final?
Well, some people say he was a mistake. That
was the manager who has been playing him. We got him the right player in. It's not our fault if you can't make it work.
Who would be before that? Endo. Last people were saying Endo was a mistake.
That weren't us. That was your boy. That was Klopp.
Oh no, that's. But people are still saying it was a mistake.
No,
it's subjective.
No. I said, when was the last time we made a mistake? Not Jurgen and
Edwards. Oh, okay, Edwards and FSG.
When was the last time we made a mistake?
Don't know.
All right. We don't make mistakes. We're surgical with it.
If you don't make many decisions, you can't make many mistakes.
Oh, cheeky. Well, we'll let it slide though. Alisson, best goalkeeper in the world. Virgil, best centre-back in the world. Fabinho, best DM before his legs fell off. Shall I continue?
If I said to you I got an attendance certificate, you'd be like, well done. But if I told you there was only a 2-day course, you'd be like, so you just made it to 2 days.
I just gave you 3 of the best players in the world.
Yeah, but that
Salah, you know about Salah, innit? Best right winger in the world.
That was years ago, bro.
Mane, we did that. Best left winger in the world at one stage. Bobby, best false 9. We did that. We said you don't.
You're taking me out with the we shit. I'm not even gonna lie. It's crazy, bro.
Tell me lie. What lie am I telling? What lie am I telling?
You're not telling any lies.
Without the players that we brought in, you don't have any success. How about that? You lot would have ended up with Brandt.
And
no pace. No pace. Gertzer and Brandt. Where'd you have gone with that?
Those two were ballers at the time we wanted them, by the way. A lot of people are doing the hindsight thing.
All of this, all of that. Are they better?
A lot of people are doing the hindsight. Them two were ballers at the time we wanted them.
Are they better than what we got you?
Not now, they're not now.
All right. Because we know best.
If you keep this up, man, am I going to start calling you Cal Henry, you know?
It would be an honor. It'd be an honor. It would be an honor. Right. As I'm
not having my face on screen for the clip up.
It's too late, bro. It's too late. It's happened already. Right. So, Drift, do you think we definitely sell Kelleher in the summer?
Yeah, I do, yeah. We lost Cal? Cal, you there? I think we've lost Cal, people. Drifty takeover. Right, let's get back to some of these supers before Cal comes back. We got Uncle Rods again, says top red Cal treating us like peasants. He is. I don't know how long he's going to keep up this facade, people. I really don't. Big Up Network says, Mubarak to all my Muslims around the world. Can you please drop the beat for Eid? Also, keep up the good work. Inshallah, 40K soon. Big up yourself, brother. As always, we did drop the beat earlier, but we can drop that beat again. Why not? Let's celebrate for our Muslim brothers and sisters in the building. Where is it? There we go. There we go. Big up.
Trying to censor me, yeah? That's what happens when people don't like what you're saying. You get censored.
People are saying they just want you back on the apple juice because that's when you changed.
I got told to come off the apple juice. Too much sugar, apparently. Now I'm not on it. You want me back on it. Once again, you can't please people. You cannot please people. Hincapie drift, a player that you really wanted us to sign last summer, has once again been linked with Liverpool and also Real Madrid. The player can play left back, he can play left centre back, can play in a back three as well. Not much has been made of him this season. Not enjoyed as good a season this season as he had previously. He has the same agent as Caicedo. Do you think we go in for him? And if so, would you be happy? Sean says FSG just getting out a new laptop. It'd be an honor if they would do such a thing for me.
Would you know that where it's got the logo on the back of the laptop? Would it be a picture of Liverpool? Would it be a picture of Jay Henry? Would it be the FSG logo? What would the logo be?
The whole team.
Oh, so a squad picture.
No, FSG with the squad holding the trophies.
Okay, just out of curiosity. Yeah, sorry.
That won it, right?
They're
part of the team that won it, right?
I guess so.
There it is. So they deserve to be in the pictures.
I mean, if I'm the dad and I pay for all of the presents at the birthdays, but I'm never there, do I get to come home and act like I'm in a good dad?
Don't do that. Don't do that. He was at the Carabao Cup final. He's been there many times. You saw him walk with his boots on. Could it make it that day, bruv? Could it make it that day? And how crazy is it that one cup final he doesn't come to, we don't win? Guess the kids were missing their daddy in it.
I don't have an answer for that one either. But Hincapie, I still think he's a good player. You know what? I think, in all seriousness, I think these are situations that can happen in football, right? Where I think you can be a good player, but you can stay at a club for too long, and then you can stagnate at that club, and maybe it's a mental thing even. I think Koulibaly is a great example of that. It was about 2 or 3 years too late by the time he finally actually left Napoli. He should have just left ages ago, but he didn't. So you want to hope that Hincapie might be the beginning of that. So if you grab him, you rescue him from it, and then he gets back to what you know he is. Because maybe it's one of them ones where it's like he should have left, he didn't, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, are you going to overstay? You're welcome at that club and not fulfill a potential that could have maybe been there. So if you're going to grab Hincapie, I think grab him this summer. Otherwise, that might be the case. He might just peter out a little bit and whatnot. So I wouldn't be bothered if we went for Hincapie. I still think he's a good player.
In terms of him being linked to Real Madrid, now obviously Xabi Alonso has been linked heavily to that job as well. If we were in for him, do you actually think we'd have a chance going up against Alonso and Real Madrid?
Nah. What, the biggest club in the world that take people's players whenever they want and the manager he's played for? You're done. There's no way you win that battle. No chance.
I wasn't hoping you were going to be that transparent.
There's no chance, bro. Absolutely no chance.
If he goes there, do you think that rules out them getting Gutierrez and Hato because they've been linked with both of those players as well?
Well, apparently the defense is the only part of their team they need to rebuild, and that's what their plan is for this summer. So they might get them all. They genuinely might get them all. Because the thing is, I think
Alaba goes, but I don't know. Plus, they brought through a couple of academy players, so I don't think we'll just be binned off.
Yeah, but remember, apparently Mendy might be moved on.
I reckon he will.
So that's Mendy and Alaba that will be gone. And Alba say that'll be gone. So that's 2 players straight away. Then you've got the constant injuries and worries about Militao. So you've got to maybe just treat him like a 5th choice centre back unless he's actually fit. So that's another one. So, bro, it is not beyond the realms of possibility. They could bring in 3 or 4 defenders to strengthen their defense this year. They've had to play Tchouaméni at centre back so many times. Bro, they could easily go and get 3 or 4 centre backs this summer. Easily.
All right.
Or defenders, sorry, not just
Now you
centre-backs.
just said that. Do you think one of our centre backs will be a target for them in the summer? And I'm not talking about the one whose contract's running down.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ibu.
I am talking about Ibu, not Virgil.
Oh, but Ibu's contract's running down as well, bro.
No, but Virgil's is virtually done.
Yeah, Ibu would definitely be one of their. I mean, this is one of them times though when I think that the popularity contest will be good for us and not negative. So normally we hate popularity. We want you to go on actual ability and quality. This is one of them times when I'm just glad that popularity will become a thing, because even though Konate is definitely a better defender than Saliba's the popular one. So Real Madrid will go for the popularity contest.
Saliba's come out already and said he wants to sign a new contract and doesn't want to leave Arsenal.
People say things. If Real Madrid want you, they get you, right? That's just how it goes.
Not all the time.
Maybe Bayern Munich might be one of the only clubs where we've seen an example of it. But
I mean, they wanted De Bruyne years back and they never got De Bruyne.
All right. Did they really want him though?
Yeah, they did. They didn't push hard because they knew Man City's not to be played with. But
well, that's another thing as well. I guess City going one of the very rare teams that they got so much financial strength. You don't really bully Man City for a player.
Do you honestly think they'll go after Saliba before they go after Ibu, considering Ibu's only got 1 year left on his contract? That's the point. Rico's right. They wanted Lenny Euro. Lenny ended up at Man United getting burnt by Sulemana.
Yeah, but I don't think they wanted him badly. I think it was just one of the ones where he's a good up-and-coming talent. We're willing to offer you this much. All right, go to Man United then. If they really, really wanted him, I think they would have pushed harder and they would have got him. So,
do you think Lekeba could be a target for Roman? So you honestly think they signed about 3 or 4 defenders?
Yeah, I do. I think they get minimum one.
So they've already got one in Trent. So they've already got one.
Yeah. Minimum one left back. Okay. And I think minimum 2 centre backs.
Jeez.
Because once they do that, bro, their entire team is finished. If you include Zubimendi in midfield just for creature comfort, their whole team will be finished. There wouldn't be any position in the team they would need to strengthen in anymore.
Oh, scary prospect.
Do you know what I'm saying?
All right, there's been rumours that Camavinga or Tchouaméni might be moved on. If that were to happen, do you think we'll be in the mix for one of those players?
So if they sign Zubimendi and they get all the defenders like I think they will, then I think that's when one of those two will go. I don't think they'll go if they don't get those. So it will look
Which one out of the two do you think is more likely to go?
Tchouaméni, because I think they rate Camavinga higher, and rightly so, because I think Camavinga is the better player.
Do you think we'll go in for Tchouaméni, and do you think we should go in for Tchouaméni?
I don't think we should, but there's a possibility we could. But that would all depend, because it was Klopp that wanted Tchouaméni. So now we don't know if Slot wants Tchouaméni.
Why wouldn't you go in for Tchouaméni?
Because the fee you'd have to pay and the fact that he's not a ball playing DM doesn't quite fit what I think Slot wants.
Okay.
I like Tchouaméni. I just think there's a few better options for the playing style.
Do we not need someone a bit different?
Yeah, but I still think it needs to be somebody who's just a little bit better on the ball. That's all. So I ain't got no problem with Tchouaméni. I just think that there's one or two.
You really don't rate Tchouaméni on the ball like that, Drew?
Nah. And again, I'm willing for people to convince me otherwise. But whenever I see Tchouaméni, I don't think he's good on the ball. He's not good with his back to goal, and he's not good under being pressed. And I think that's kind of the opposite of what Slot wants, right?
Interesting. I don't think he's amazing on the ball. I think you are not giving him as much credit as he deserves, though. Personally, I won't sit here and say he's magical on the ball and all that. But I think he makes up for that by being a very good ball winner and being physical in there and getting the job done in other ways as well.
Who would you say who's more press resistant, Rice or Tchouaméni?
Tchouaméni.
Would you?
Yeah.
Who would you say is better on the ball out of Rice and Tchouaméni?
Rice is better at driving with the ball. Tchouaméni is a better passer of the ball.
Okay. Because there's a little part of me that's starting to think that possibly, and this
But you
is
know,
just
I rate Rice though. So
yeah, no, I know. No, but what it is, a lot of people think Rice is a 6, and I don't know why Arteta doesn't just play him as a 6. Do you know what I think it might be? And I've been trying to think about this. I think it might be that he's not as good as Arteta thought he would be. Now he's got him in his own possession, at like being on the ball. And Arsenal do want to play on the ball football, right? They do. And there's a part of me that thinks that he's put Rice in an 8 because of how he's not good at being press resistant. And if you play the number 6, you need to be like Partey. You need to be press resistant. Partey is extremely press resistant. So I think that is kind of maybe why. And this is just a theory. I'm not saying this is facts. Arsenal fans might disagree. Fair enough. But I think that's why I don't play him in the 6. Because all the Arsenal fans are like, why won't he just play Rice in the 6? I think it's because he's not good enough on the ball to play in the 6. If you want to be a possession-based team. So wouldn't you then get that same issue with Tchouaméni? Do you get what I mean? Because I think it's a toss of a coin who's better on the ball than Tchouaméni and who's more press resistant, at Tchouaméni and Rice. I think it's a toss of a coin. Which one of those is the more press resistant? So therefore, I'm thinking, could that be the issue? If you play Tchouaméni in the 6 in our team and we want to be on the ball and we want to be playing out from the back and stuff, does it become a little annoying to have a Tchouaméni in there? I don't know. But, you know what I mean?
It's a tricky one, man. It's a tricky one. I do think Tchouaméni's more press resistant than Rice, though.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if it was up to me, Camavinga would be my first choice. But if it's not him, Tchouaméni. Shout out to Cop Class. Adam Wharton's been going under the radar this season. He's having a good season.
Didn't he just come back from a bad injury?
Well, the times he's played, sorry. Because before he got injury, he was still decent. Since he's come back from the injury, he's been very good.
Big up Ballers FC. Wharton would probably cost you more than Tchouaméni would.
Yeah, of course he would.
So he's probably the last player we'll go for, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah, but I do rate Wharton. I can see Wharton ending up at Man City.
Unless he runs his contract down.
Only our players do that because they're ungrateful.
Which seems to be the new norm now.
Only our players doing that because they're ungrateful and they want to use the club's love as a way of getting more money.
Do you agree with Mr. Dare I say, who says getting Tchouaméni sends a wrong message? It would tell people that we're happy to get Rome with just sloppy seconds when they rejected us last time.
You can look at it that way, or you can look at it that you're improving the squad with a better player than what we have.
But are you saying it's okay to go after to get with a woman now she's got 2 kids and pick somebody else before you? Because when you wanted her, she was single. You both had no children. It's 4 years down the line now. She's got 2 pick-me. Baby father don't want her anymore. So now she's willing for you to step in and look after things. Is that a good idea? You're still getting the same woman, but is that a good idea?
Are there any other women better out there than her that we can get?
Yeah, they are better than Tchouaméni. So, yeah.
Can you name me some that we can get?
That we can get? Yeah. I think we can get Wharton. I think we could get Belieber. I think we could...
Wait. So you want us to spend 100 mil on Wharton?
No. If we were willing to, we could get the player, though.
You think Wharton's better than Tchouaméni?
No, but if we're talking about playing in the Premier League and we're talking about on the ball press, I think he's more press resistant.
Do you think Belieber is better than Tchouaméni?
Yes, I just think Belieber's better than Tchouaméni. Period. Everything.
Okay.
You know what? Look, and I know I can see a lot of scowling in the background. I personally think that Tchouaméni is a bit overhyped. I like Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni is a good player, but I definitely believe Tchouaméni is overhyped.
Matt,
I think. Do you know what? I think Tchouaméni. I'm going to put Tchouaméni in the Zubimendi category because I think Zubimendi's a bit overrated as well. I've been doing some due diligence on Zubimendi, and I think he's definitely a bit overrated. I think we got a bit too excited. I think Tchouaméni might be kind of the same. I think Tchouaméni might be a bit overexcited. I don't think he'll come in and be this absolute general everyone thinks he is. He'll be a good player, but I think Tchouaméni's overrated.
All right, so let me get this straight. You think Belieber's better than Tchouaméni?
Yes, I do, yeah.
What's that based on?
What I've seen.
what you've seen.
Hmm.
The only thing, in my opinion, Belaber's better at, I think he's a better driver of the ball. And I think, yeah, he's more of a progressive player. But if you're talking about in a pivot with what we need a bit of steel in there. We also need experience. Shumeni knows and has been there and done it all. He's won Champions Leagues, won the league.
Was he really a part of it though?
Yeah, he even had to play centre back, and he's not even a good centre back, and he had to do a job there.
But then that means he ain't got the experience where we need him to have it. Then
no, but here's what I'm gonna say though. But his best performances have been at CDM. With Belieber, as good as he is, and I think Belieber will be a quality signing for Liverpool. My worry with Belieber is that he's still a bit inexperienced, and I've seen some games when he's done an absolute madness. Shumeni ain't doing that because Shumeni's kind of got that. He's done all that now because he's obviously older.
No, but
he's older.
Is that a definite though?
No.
Shumeni wouldn't do that.
But you got to remember, Shumeni's played for France and has played on the biggest stage. Belieber hasn't done that. Not only that, for example, okay, we go away to Man City, for example. I think you can trust Shumeni, in my opinion, a bit. I think he's a bit more disciplined. Belieber has the potential, but he's not there yet. I think comparing Belieber to Shumeni, even though it's like different players, I just think Shumeni, we need that experience as much as we want youth. Shumeni's not old. I think Shumeni's, what is he, 26, maybe? 26, 25? I don't know.
25,
but like, I think he's 26.
Yeah, but Shumeni, you could
now, yeah.
put next to Gravel Mac, and it just automatically, like, the midfield is just, you got that combative midfielder. Not saying Belieber's not combative.
I was going to say, because Belieber's definitely combative.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shumeni 25.
Yeah. But no, listen,
I'm not unhappy with Shumeni though. You know, if we sign Shumeni, I wouldn't be unhappy with.
I rate Belieber though, but I just
think he's overrated.
Would you rather spend? Because here's the thing, that was Brighton's player to replace Caicedo, so you know they're gonna charge us.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. The fee's gonna be crazy. 100%.
Yeah, like, but then again, it's Real Madrid. We can't really sit here and say we're gonna get a favor. So
would you look at it from the point of view of you'd rather pay 60 mil for Shumeni than 80 mil for Belieber, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and not only that, there's a part of me that's thinking if we get Shumeni in now, there's nothing even to stop us maybe down the line. Maybe like we speak to Belieber and he starts to run down his contract a little bit more, potentially we might be able to get him for cheaper.
FSG getting us both?
No. What? No, but I'll be down the line because you know what it is? The reason I'm saying
don't laugh at that. Don't laugh.
The reason why I'm saying
no, wait. Sorry, don't laugh at that, bro. We got you Szoboszlai for 70 mil, and we're gonna get you Caicedo for a world record fee. Don't laugh at our thing, bro.
What you mean? Your fake Caicedo bid?
Oh, it's fake now. So we can just put in fake bids now. That's what we do, yeah. So it's football manager.
But if you know that somebody else. By the way, Matt, welcome to the Top Red Cow show where he said,
"Oh yeah, I already know."
Talking about the owners now.
I already know Top Red Cow. I know Top Red Cow.
Bro, he threw me off with that one, bro.
We got you McAllister, who you both said is world class and top 3 in the world. You both said that. We got you Endo, who Drift, you said is fantastic and don't want to lose him.
He
Grab, where's your background, Matt? We got you, Grab. We did. And then we got you Szoboszlai guy, 70 mil, activating the release clause. We did that for you, and that still wasn't good enough. We went, you know what? You want a Caicedo? You want one of the best in the league? We'll get you that as well. But his head got turned because he wanted money. And how's that working out for him?
Why didn't you pay him more money?
89 teammates. Say that again.
So why didn't you pay him more money then?
Because 89 teammates.
Why didn't you pay Caicedo more money? Why did you let them outbid us?
Why did Chelsea sell their women's team to themselves? You want to go us against cheaters? Because that's what you're asking us to do. Can't win.
Man,
you can beat cheaters. You can beat cheaters.
Yeah, I know. We've done it twice.
Yeah. See?
Who else has done it?
See? But it's still proving the point it can be done, right?
Have Chelsea beaten City to the league since Guardiola's been there? Once. We're about to do it twice. Have Arsenal done it? No. Man United? No. We gave you what? We got you Klopp, you know. We did that. Remember that. When you lot wanted Amarim, when you lot wanted Alonso, when you lot wanted Tom, Dick, and Harry, we said, no, we're going to get you Arne Slot, the right man for the job. You lot threw your toys out of the pram. You're doing the cheap thing. You go for the cheap option. Don't come parade then. Go celebrate Xabi Alonso's second place finish with Leverkusen. Go celebrate Amarim's 15th place finish with Man United. Don't come parade. Don't come parade. Remember I said that.
Oh shit, bro. Look at that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You should just put one of FSG's greatest soldiers, not Satan's a bit mad. That's mad. Let's say FSG, man. FSG. But no, listen. We don't get both of those players, you're right, Jeff. But if we could get one, I would prefer Tchouaméni, but I'm not going to say no to Belieber. And here's the thing.
Both players will get both players.
Say that again, sorry?
If Slot wants both players, we'll get both players. Just like whenever Klopp wanted a player, we went out and did it.
Did we though?
Tell me where we didn't. Tell me when we didn't.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Klopp wanted Mbappe, before Mbappe...
Mbappe started pimping out PSG before he went to Real Madrid.
Klopp wanted Tchouaméni.
Remember, we flew him out. Pause. Not on a Diddy thing. We flew him out.
Klopp wanted Tchouaméni as well, by the way.
Yeah, Tchouaméni.
Liverpool flew Tchouaméni out, bro.
Exactly.
So why didn't you get it done?
Why didn't Klopp get it done? He's meant to be this all inspiring and speak to Klopp, he'll get it done. He wanted to play DOF, He wanted to do that. So why didn't he get over the line then?
Oh, you're in a slippery slope, Cal.
Why didn't he get over the line?
Do you know why this is going to be dangerous for Cal, Matt? Like Omar Epps in Too Deep when he realized the lines were blurred, but he didn't know if he was a fed or a crook anymore. Cal's got to be careful right now, bro.
So hold on, you're saying Klopp is the one that didn't get the signings over the line. That's what you're saying.
Who was running Who was in charge of the transfers?
When it was Mbappe and Tchouaméni, I think was it Julian Wood at that point? I don't know who was in charge at that point.
Blame Julian.
No, I'm genuinely asking. You would know, innit? You're on the books.
Julian got you your boy. Julian got your boy.
Julian got McAllister, yeah.
Who else did Julian get?
That he signed up with McAllister. All jokes aside, he signed up with McAllister.
Who did he get before McAllister?
I can't remember. Who did he get?
Ibu. You're welcome, Matthew. You're welcome.
Hold on, wait there. I'm almost certain that was Michael Edwards.
Either way, part of the same team.
So, if I'm not mistaken, then FSG have done their bit by identifying the players, but apparently, if we lose out on the players, is Klopp's to blame. Is that what you're saying? I just want to make this clear.
Yeah, because when we lose games, it's FSG's fault, but when you win games, it's Klopp's doing or Slot's doing. I'm just playing the game. You guys are dealing the cards.
Do you think Klopp got the adequate finances then to get the players that he wanted at all times?
Yeah.
So what about reports that obviously don't surface? Like,
hold on. Wasn't Klopp happy with the midfield? Klopp was happy with the midfield. He didn't want any midfielders.
Do you think Klopp would want to lose those midfielders, knowing that he's not going to get that much back?
We gave them new midfielders.
No, but remember we don't. But remember midfielders don't sign contracts. We just let them leave.
Again, not our fault.
We don't do extensions at your workplace, right? We don't do extensions
because the players are greedy.
The players are greedy.
Greedy.
Is Luis Diaz greedy for asking for a bit more than 55 grand a week?
Yeah.
You think that's greedy?
Mm.
Okay. What about Ibu? Do you think he's greedy? Do you think Ibu's greedy because he's on about 90? Do you think Ibu's greedy if he wants to double that? Is that greedy?
Depends what he's asking for.
Double. Same as Saliba. Is that greedy?
Have his performances doubled in quality since he's been here?
So sorry?
Have his performance doubled in quality since he's been here?
I think you would describe Ibu as one of the top 5 defenders in world football. So yeah, you let me know about that.
That was my question. I asked,
okay, you answer my question then.
By double.
Oh, 100%, because Ibu came in as a young player trying to make his way, and now he's one of the top 5 defenders in world football. Do you agree or disagree?
He still makes mistakes for us.
Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, he's all right. He's up there.
Crazy that we won a Premier League with Ibu at centre back. Crazy.
Yeah,
huh?
and he can be replaced.
With who?
We won the Premier League with Robbo at left back. Should we keep him as well?
Who's he gonna be replaced
Keep
with?
Robbo as well?
Who's he gonna be replaced with?
Should we keep Robbo and Simicast
Who's
as
he
well?
going to? You need. I answered your question. You haven't answered mine. Who's Ibu going to be replaced with your FSG scouting?
Bravo, put the data in. We'll crunch some numbers. We'll get
crunch numbers. Else. Yeah, that's what I thought. Crunch numbers. What? No names, numbers.
Hey, I'm not the scout.
Numbers don't tell the full story. We know this, right?
Hence why we also do personality reports and the rest of it.
Yeah.
Once
and
again,
that's why
do you know what? Since you want to do this, when was the last time we made this? When was the last time we made a signing and got it wrong, Matt?
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do the alley self setup thing. I get it. Still, I get it. I don't know. I think maybe we could look at maybe Fabio Carvalho. Did that work out for us potentially?
That weren't us. That was your boys.
Excuse me?
That was Klopp and Linders. That weren't us.
That was Klopp and Linders. So if it fails, it's a Klopp and Linders. But if it succeeds, it's FSG.
We didn't want.
Gotcha. I get what you mean now.
We didn't want Carvalho.
Who was in the same summer that transfer window?
Nunes. You lot wanted that. You lot wanted him as well.
What about Calvin Ramsey? Where is he?
You tell me. We didn't want him either. We had Connor at home.
Is that a Klopp failure?
We had Connor Rice at home.
So hold on. When Klopp he centre backs and we got a hologram and Kabak, was that Klopp's fault? Because if I'm not mistaken, Klopp held a press conference and said, "We need to buy centre backs. We need more." But your boy is at the top red level. Didn't want even to do nothing. If I'm not mistaken.
You want me to break that down for you?
Yeah. Break it down, please.
Jurgen Klopp only wanted Ibo Konate. We drew Konate in the Champions League. We drew RB Leipzig, who Konate was playing for in the Champions League. RB turned around and said, "We're not selling him to you at the end of the season." Klopp said, "He's the only one I want." I said, "Okay, cool. We still need to get you some reinforcements." You got him some reinforcements. Were they the best? No. But were they bodies?
Even though I know, and I have on good authority that we only started speaking to Ibu in March.
No, that's when we agreed the deal with him.
No, we started speaking to Ibu in March.
Incorrect. We started speaking to him before then and agreed the deal.
All right, cool.
Why didn't he play Nat Phillips and Reece Williams at centre back? We had centre backs.
Sorry?
He didn't want to play them. He had centre backs. Didn't want to play
centre back. Sorry,
Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. They got us top 3 in the end when he actually started playing them. Or is that our fault as well? Should we control the tactics as well? Do we have to do that job as well?
Where Nat Phillips and Reece Williams now?
It's not about where they are now. It's about
no. Where are they now?
Where's Sadio Mane now?
Where are they now?
Where's Jordan Henderson now?
Don't compare legends. Now? Don't compare legends.
Where's Thiago now? Where's Matip?
Don't compare legends. Where were they back in 2020? Players. This is why you stick to data. This is why top Reds stick to data.
Do you know what? We'll see how our data works out in comparison to Nunes, Calvin Ramsey, and Carvalho. Then. We'll see how that works.
That's the great transfer window that FSG provided for us.
No, that's the transfer window you guys wanted it. We just gave you the money.
That's the transfer window FSG provided for us.
We won't be doing that again. We're taking back control.
Hold on, if I'm not mistaken, when we won the Champions League, who did we sign in that summer?
Adrian on a free.
Yeah.
Sepp Vandenberg and Harvey Elliott.
All right, conversation done.
It's not done. No, the manager.
Two of them aren't even here.
All right, cool.
And the other player had a bad injury.
You want to play that game?
We can play this game all day.
What did we win the season after we did that transfer window?
Oh, what you mean when Klopp had to overcook the squad?
Good. There it is again. When Liverpool win, it's on Jurgen Klopp. When Liverpool lose, it's on us.
Do you know what, though? Do you know why? This is why I'm so glad you brought up data. Because the data will show you we overcooked the players that they've now all left. And they're all burnt out. Funny, huh? Crazy, huh?
Who did that?
What happened to Fabinho Henderson?
We wanted to get rid of Fabinho. You guys wanted to give him a new contract.
They were burnt out.
You wanted to give him a new contract. We wanted to get him Bruno Guimaraes, and the manager dug his heels and said, "No, he wants a new contract."
Who wanted Bruno Guimaraes? Sorry, who wanted Bruno Guimaraes?
Get rid of Henderson. What did you guys? Do you know what? I'm gonna get the tape. I'm gonna get the tapes.
Who wanted Bruno Guimaraes?
Henderson a new contract. What did he start doing? He ran to the media. I'll go PSG. I'll go Atletico Madrid. We wanted to bring in Bruno Guimaraes. You know, the guy that bullied us last couple of weeks. We did that. We wanted to do that. And you lot wanted Jordan Brian Henderson to stay at Liverpool Football Club. Whoop-de-doo. How'd that work out for you?
Right. So when Henderson wanted to leave Liverpool, what did I say should happen? Can you remember?
Can't remember, but it didn't happen, did it?
Funny how you don't remember that, but you get the best memory in the room. Crazy, huh?
He didn't like. Did it happen, Matt? Yes. Or no?
Selective
Did it
memory
happen?
now. Selective
So you-
memory. This is what we're
so you wanted
doing.
him
Is
to
this what
go?
top Reds have done to you? You got selective memory now. They've taken away your powers.
No. They've
That's
enhanced
mad
my
still.
powers.
What you? Clark from Smallville can't fly no more.
They enhanced
Memory
my-
lost. Memory gone. Can't remember what I
Mm.
said. Interesting.
What did you
Crazy.
say?
Huh?
What did you say
Hmm?
about Henderson?
Oh, you know what I
already
said. I
sold?
want you to repeat because you remember.
You didn't want him sold. You didn't want Henderson sold, Matt. None of us did. None of us.
When did I
wanted
want Henderson to
sold.
leave, or when did I think it was time? Not the contract
When-
situation, but like kind of like shortly after.
The season after the quad chasing season.
Did he stay?
That was a season. So he was, he left after that season.
Oh,
Not
your
the quad-
memory works again.
No.
Crazy,
He
huh?
didn't leave after the quad chasing season. He left the season
Yeah.
after the quad chasing season.
I wanted Henderson. You know when I wanted Henderson to leave.
And we wanted to move Henderson on in 2021.
So you're saying it's Klopp's fault for keeping Henderson, who, if I'm not mistaken, Cal, did you see? Did he win another trophy in 2022? Then, so if I was wrong
Wasn't
and the
that
club
big?
still won, so
What was
let
the
me get this
midfield-
straight.
What was the midfield that got us that final? You
So hold
remember?
on, wait. So in 2022,
What was the
when you
midfield that
said,
got us
wait.
the FA Cup
I'm trying to
final?
understand something. In 2022,
God,
we
say
were
it.
going for the quad and we
Got
won
you.
trophies, right?
Checkmate.
How's
What
it
was the
checkmate? No. You're
what was the
making my
midfield?
point. You
What was
go.
the midfield that got us to
Yeah.
the FA Cup final and you wanted us to play in the Champions League
Oh,
final?
So your memory now works again. That's crazy.
What was it? What was it?
You told me your memory's back again.
NFT. I don't hear no H in there.
What's that? Sorry.
NFT midfield. I don't hear no H.
That is very, very true.
All right then.
But
And
I don't
who
understand
played-
where you're
who
going with
played-
this one now.
Who played Henderson in that team instead of Naby? Your boy.
That's in the final, isn't it?
Or was that us as well?
That's in the
Was
final.
that
That's
us
one
as
game.
well?
That's one game though.
Was that us as well?
That's one game.
Didn't he play in the final of the FA Cup as well? Didn't he start
That's
that
one
game?
game. No. Hey, Naby Keita played in the. Remember, he played. I think was it semis or quarterfinals against Man City?
Semis. I asked about the final.
Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to get at though. It seems like you got an issue with Jurgen. That's what it sounds like.
No. I've got an issue with you fans who don't appreciate what we do. That's what I've got an issue with. You're gonna
What we
respect
do.
us. You're gonna respect us.
I don't need to respect none.
You're
You man
gonna
are frauds.
There it is.
You man are frauds though.
I ain't seen many fraudsters win a Premier League.
You man are
Twice.
frauds.
Why are we frauds, Matt?
Didn't you want to do Super League and then you got pressured? Man come to your house and said, "Well, go on."
We're basically in a Super League now with UEFA.
Huh?
We're
What's that?
basically in a Super League now.
No,
with
but it's
UEFA.
not called a Super League though. It's called a Champions League. It's not called Super. Might sound like one, but it's not.
You don't think?
What does
we
it
get-
officially say? What does it officially say though?
Are you happy with the format of the Champions League? and
What
the
does
way
it
that Man
officially
United
say? What does it
Champions League?
officially
Are
say?
you happy with it?
What does it officially say?
Champions League, UEFA Champions League. Are you happy with it?
Was you cool with the ticket prices as well? Like when my man tried to change the thing.
Jeez, bringing up stuff from 10 years ago. Might as well be.
Oh, that
speaking
wasn't
to
10
our
years
mic.
ago though.
God, yo,
It wasn't.
what are we doing there?
But it wasn't 10 years ago though.
How many years was it?
I'm just asking if you was happy in it.
Look, we all make mistakes.
No. Oh. So, but was you happy?
With the
I'm not
ticket
talking-
prices.
Not blame game.
Well, we've
you
frozen
happy?
ticket prices since then, haven't we? We learned from our mistakes.
But what did it take though? Why should we have to keep putting your man in check?
You've passed in check a couple of times. We're all,
You know
we're
them
all
ones. We
human
have to
beings.
put your man in check. It is what it is though, isn't it?
You guys
Like-
put Jurgen in check.
What's that?
You
Guys,
put Jurgen in check.
can I put a pause to this conversation?
Yeah.
If you
yeah.
want.
So we're not going anywhere with Top Red. We're not going anywhere right now. But me and Cal
Top
did
Reds
have a
make me
conversation.
sick.
Me and Cal did have a conversation earlier. So I found some information that's quite interesting. You remember when we're talking about like players being of a certain age, how much they're getting paid, etc., etc. Now
Mm.
maybe the club's a bad example because Real Madrid can do things other clubs can't do. But I'm going to look at Modric and I'm going to look at what he's doing at Real Madrid and how the situation has been. So I'm going to bring this up. Now this is Modric's salary while he's been at Real Madrid, right?
Kyle, you might want to get your notepad out for them to crunch some numbers.
So we're going to go back to like the first
Year after
times
year.
when he first got to Real Madrid, right? And I know obviously you got to take into consideration like the time it was, wages, what they were, there's more money in football now, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
But you can see the gradual increase at Real Madrid. So when he
Hold on,
first
sorry,
gets
just to make this clear. Sorry to cut you, dude. I just want to make this
Yeah.
clear. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to show the top Reds that you can sign top players even if it's like a rolling year contract and like you can manage a financial situation with top players. Is that what you're telling me, Drew?
And if the package that you present in the situation is right, I also believe players will take less money. I don't think it's always about greed.
Yeah. Are they legendary players, Drift?
Hold on. Did Salah and Virgil want 1-year contracts? Because we'll do that tomorrow if they want it.
No. We'll do the top red thing after, bro. Let me just go through this because I'm just curious.
Are they legendary? Is Modric a legendary player? Would you say?
Modric is a super legend.
No.
Legend.
Oh. Thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Let me zoom in a couple
for the top reds in the back.
So there you go. So zoom in. So we've got. He started on 145 a week.
Yeah.
And then 147, 144. So he actually was going down in wage in the first 3 years. Yeah. I don't know if that was something in the contract or whatever, but he was going down in wage. Then you get here, 2016, and then he starts going up in wage. 2018, he's going up again. By the time we get to 2019, 2020, he's on the big bucks at this point. Like this is when he's caking it. Yeah. Then it starts to come down a little bit. Then it dramatically comes down from 22, 23 to 23, 24. Dramatically, that's like almost half, or if not half. And now he's still currently on that same. So it's half what he was getting 2 years ago. So again, I know the metric of Real Madrid might be a difficult one to go against because they're a club that can do things others can't do. Yeah. But I think this is some solid evidence in the world that I think the older players will come down in wages if things seem to be okay with other stuff. Because Modric could have gone to Saudi or whatever and collected
is he
a bag.
38, 39?
I think Modric is about 37, something
is
like
he?
that.
30?
He's getting on a bit. But that means that, and again, we're also showing as well, which is one of the reasons I wanted to bring up, is that means that up until he was 35 / maybe 36, he was still on nearly 400 grand a week.
Modric is 39.
39. Right. So that means that he was 36, 37, and he was still getting close to 400 grand a week, which also goes to the other point I was making, that I think if you think the player is valuable enough to your club, then it's worth paying him a lot of money, even if he's getting older. So there's just a real life example of how top players will take less money, and top players also being paid a lot of money at an older age isn't a bad thing. So there you go.
Fairs. Okay. Last topic of the show. Look away for any of you FSG outers now. But Liverpool, FSG apparently in negotiations looking at potentially purchasing Malaga.
So I just saw this.
Don't make yeah.
How would you feel about us purchasing Malaga?
I don't know. Do you think it's going to end up the same what happened with Bordeaux? So I know you lot can be a bit flaky.
No, we went over there, checked out the car, and saw it was a Cat D. So we walked away from it. What happened to Bordeaux since then?
You mean Cat S? You mean Cat S?
Cat D, bro.
Cat S.
Cat S, whatever Cat is, bro. Meow, they're out of business, bro.
You see Malaga. If I'm not mistaken, Dean Huijsen played there. If I'm not mistaken, actually. Once again, they got talent there. They got the Isco's come through there as well. There's other players that's come through there as well. The multi-club model that FSG want to provide. I mean, the thing is, I don't think it affects Liverpool in any type of way. By the way, I think that's just a separate thing. It could help us potentially down the line. Because if you get top prospects that come through Malaga, maybe we can, do a little deal with them potentially. So if it happens, all good. But if it doesn't happen, then we're not going to lose sleep. Because like I said, they kind of show that they were always going to do this anyway. And this is why Michael Edwards was brought back to the club in the first place, I believe. Because apparently the multi-club model was a really big thing for them. But it don't affect us, bro. Like, it really doesn't. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But what I want to know is, if they do this deal, and they spend quite a bit of money, and they don't re-sign up them players, there's going to be a lot of questions, and that's just me being real, because you can't go out and spend money on another club that are in need of financial, help, but then you can't help the players that's at a club that you say that's run so well. So it's going to be interesting how this one plays out.
That was cheeky, but I'm not going to bite on that, Matt. Pause.
Pause.
Your thoughts, Drift.
if they're doing it, if I felt that they were doing it because it was going to be beneficial to Liverpool in some way, and it just added to their portfolio, which we all know is all they want to do is just build their portfolio, then I'd probably be a little all right with it. I'd be like, okay, so it's one of them situations where they get the young talent from Malaga, they bring it up, and then they do like what Red Bull do with Salzburg and Leipzig, and then the natural progression is they go from Salzburg to Leipzig, and then they just continue to keep the cycle of the top young talent, and then they go there. If they're going to do that, cool. But they won't do that. They won't help Liverpool by taking the top talent from Malaga and all that stuff. So it won't benefit. So Matt's right. It won't have anything to do with Liverpool whatsoever. It just won't. There'll be absolutely nothing to do with Liverpool.
So you guys.
So I don't really care either way because it doesn't give us any. It doesn't do anything for us. So I'm not really bothered.
So you think we just have one pot of money and everything comes out of that one pot? You don't think we ain't got money?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that either. No, I don't think Malaga's money affects Liverpool.
Damn straight though. We're rich as F. We're good for it. We're good for it. You don't see what we did. We put out that Caicedo money like that. None of you lot believed it. Like that. Don't do the money thing. We're good for it. If you need that, we'll get that. Don't watch our pockets. We're good for it. If we want to buy Malaga and we want to do new contracts, we'll do both. We'll do both. And there'll be a drop in the ocean.
Are we going to re-sign the top players that we have at the club?
Ask the players if they love the club and want to stop being greedy.
You think the players are being greedy?
Yeah. They love the club, right?
You think Virgil and Salah are being greedy?
Do they love the club like they say they do? They want to stay.
No, genuine question. Do you think Virgil and Salah are being greedy?
I think they're being unreasonable.
Do you think they've been underpaid for years? In your opinion? Well, but especially Virgil, best defender in the world.
220 is good money for me.
He's the best defender in the world.
220 is good money.
Wow. Yeah, it's good money. Of course it is. It's amazing money. But when you're the best in the world, you should be getting exceptional money. There's a difference because you're an exceptional player. If you're an exceptional player, you should get exceptional wages.
Did he accept the terms of the contract and was he happy with it?
What's that? Sorry?
Did he accept the terms of the contract and was he happy with it?
Yeah, and that's why he wants a renewal. He's been exceptional, so pay him what he's owed.
We did pay him what he was owed. Gets good bonuses for winning stuff as well, right?
Doesn't look like it. From his
well, you know what doesn't look good?
So.
I tell you what doesn't look good. The captain of our football club not leading by example and taking terms that will benefit the club, since he loves us so much. Or is he player FC nowadays? That's what I thought. I'm gonna read off these super chats. Abdullah. Big up to Abs. Says, large up, you man them every time. What's the worst football take you have each heard recently? Someone said to me, Big Ron wouldn't cook in today's game. They must be talking about Ron Atkinson as opposed to Ronaldo. Like, that's crazy. The worst footballing take I've heard, the two, the FSG are good owners, and the other one is that Salah isn't better than Hazard.
Worst football take.
I've got one, Drift.
I've got one, but it's gonna be so shady.
No, I've got one, but you know when they've changed, it's one of them ones.
I'm never gonna say it.
I'll say this. I won't say the name. A top red once said Ronaldinho is not elite.
He said, I knew you were going to do that. He said heard recently.
I said a top red, by the way. I never mentioned.
Said heard recently.
There's many top reds in the chat, by the way.
He said heard recently. Did you hear that recently?
There's many top reds.
How far back is recently?
Recently, I'd say was in the last.
What about Mbappe not being top 10 in the world?
Was that said 6 months ago?
Last couple of years, maybe. We putting a strict time on it, yeah.
Recent's usually around 6 months, not 5 years.
Okay, I get it. Just like how you guys are gonna re-sign the contracts because the financial year. Yeah, I got you.
We re-sign contracts all the time. It doesn't have to be the financial year. Like a couple of seasons ago, we signed up everyone in August and July. There's no financial year there.
Have
You
you
guys
re-signed-
make up these rumors. Not us.
Have you re-signed Ibu?
Has Ibu accepted the terms?
No, just answer the question. Quick yes or no. Have you re-signed Ibu?
No.
Have
He
you
hasn't
re-signed
accepted
Virgil?
the hasn't accepted the terms.
Have you re-signed Salah?
Hasn't accepted the terms.
Have you re-signed Trent?
He wants to play buddy with Jude.
Quite
This
a few
means
I've
more
named
now,
though, innit?
right?
Quite a few
Huh?
I've named though, innit?
Yeah. What do you want us to do? Force people to sign signatures, man? What am I, Suge Knight now? You want me to hang him over the balcony, vanilla
I
rice?
ain't got
Do you want
force
me to do
nothing.
that?
Just pay people what they're owed, innit? Start undercutting, innit?
Undercut, there is. Undercut.
Start undercutting. That's what you got to do.
350k a week plus bonuses is undercutting for Mo Salah, yeah?
This is hilarious.
Shocking.
Anyway,
Don't worry,
let's
man.
move on to the next super chat.
Shocking behavior.
Re-sign some players, fam.
When they adjust, then we'll re-sign. Jamrock says, ideal for Arne Slot, not for me, is Frankie. Ideal number 6 for Arne Slot is Frankie, not for him, just injuries. You were saying this as well recently, Drift, right?
Yeah. If you could wave a magic wand over Frankie de Jong and you'd know for the next 3-4 seasons he wouldn't get injured, I probably think he would be the most ideal number 6 that we could go and get. It's
Would
just
you
you just know that can't happen.
Would you still worry about the physicality though? Because I know a lot of people have spoken about we lack
Nah.
because there's been games when people have said like we lack physicality, especially top reds. They'll say things like, "Oh, Gravenberch is not a 6. We need to get someone more physical, like a Ugart, for example, like just to name a player, right?" They'll say like a Ugart is a physical player, he's a stopper. Like we need someone. Or would you think more Frankie de Jong suits the more Drift?
Or maybe
Frankie de Jong definitely suits the
Sorry, I was asking Drift. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I was just thinking out like maybe we need a baller like.
It seemed like you kind of glitched and went out of time. You're right.
Yeah, Matt's Wi-Fi would probably be good for us, isn't it? Go on, Drift.
Okay. You might.
Yeah,
want to say
I
Wi-Fi too much. Your Wi-Fi might cut out. Just saying. Just saying.
Not as much as the Brighton player does.
Oh, fucking hell. No, Frankie de Jong would be a great signing if he could be injury free. All jokes aside, you just know for a fact that's not going to happen. You're not going to in the Premier League. It'll probably intensify more so than get any better. So no,
Frankie de Jong would be sick, but it's the injuries, like you said. I do worry though. Not worry because Frankie de Jong's cold, but I do think we do like physicality. All jokes aside, though, we do, and I understand you want that. You see, all right, Belabor. Sure, many. I know Frankie de Jong is better than both of them, but for what you need in the Prem, I just wonder whether that would allow Grav or Matt, whoever's in the pivot, to allow them to do a bit more. As great as Frankie de Jong is, though, because I think he's cold.
So fairs. You just know we ain't getting him. We ain't paying him 600k a week to sit on the hospital bed.
Don't think we'll pay 25 mil for Angelo Stiller either, but we move.
We don't want him. Signed a new contract. Tough on him, innit?
Oh, we signed a new deal.
Signed a new deal. Tough on him.
Crazy, huh?
well, he signed a new deal with a release clause.
Oh, is it?
We don't do those. Sergeant Yarrison Hates says we're losing our best deep line playmaker in Trent. We need a 6 who's a ball player. There's one who's valued at 35 mil. Frankie de Jong bargain.
Oh, this is ironic off of the back of what
his
Jamrock
wages are insane. I think he's on about was it 700,000 a week?
So Matt, let me ask you a quick question. Yeah,
I think
when you look at somebody like Van Persie, when you look at someone like Dembele, and how a change of club, change of scenery seemed to completely turn around the injury issues, and then they weren't an injury-prone player anymore. Do you think Frankie at like 30 mil, 350 grand a week would be a worthy risk?
How old is Frankie de Jong now? Because I know top Reds like.
I think he's 27. He'll be 28 by next season. I think it is.
That's the problem.
We've
only done that, if I'm not mistaken, twice with James Milner at 29 and the same thing with Thiago at 29. I don't know whether
Clavan as well.
Oh yeah, Clavan as well. Yeah, I don't know, but just speak about the midfield. I don't know whether we would sign someone of that age again. That's what. Even though I think personally,
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, he's 27 now. By the time the season starts, he'll be 28.
Because I think Frankie de Jong is one of them players where he's like an anomaly player because he is that good in my opinion. But I don't know whether FSG will take that risk again after what happened with Thiago. More so, obviously, the Milner, because Milner, obviously, the longevity was there, innit? But Thiago, would they take that risk again?
Zia, love FSG Cal, proper gangster dude. Appreciate that. Takes a strong man to play to do this.
Fraud. Sorry, what? What?
For any mods out there, feel free to block someone if you want. MNE 4 says this is worse than Stephen A's crash out. You call it a crash out, I call it enlightening. Tana says, speaking of frauds, Drift, what about that Trent video I never found disrespectful Gooner Lee? When will he be held accountable for his crimes? We'll deal with that offline, guys. I'm gonna be real. We're not gonna hold like court for that. And all that. We'll speak about that offline.
Don't get it twisted though, guys.
Hasn't gonna notice though.
There's definitely been some conversations to try and figure out exactly what's going on and to have some accountability put up. So yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just, again, I know a lot of people want to see it happen in public because what he did is in public, but his apology or addressing of the situation is more what is for public. Regardless of whether people agree or disagree with what he said, we still know him personally and we're not just going to disrespect him in public. The conversations about how wrong it was or what the situation is, they have to be kept private, guys, when you have a real relationship with someone. You don't just draw a man out in public and just rinse him in public. It doesn't work like that, guys. You know what I mean?
Atanas used to think Devil's Advocate was an act. Top red cow trying to join the dark side. Shave that beard off, Sanderson. It's not why I fell in love with Kopish. I ain't never shaving this beard, not unless John tells me to.
That's crazy what you just said. You know?
Mr. Wonderful says Callum and John Cena turned heel in the same year. I've not turned heel. I've been enlightened.
Crazy.
I've become enlightened. Big up to Sultan says Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim bros. Been a good few weeks without Liverpool. Now get back to let's get back to business. Win this league. People saying Fede might start centre forward.
Yeah, I'm still not sure that's gonna happen. If I'm being honest, I'm still not, I personally don't think it's gonna happen. But
the only thing that when it comes to Federico, the only thing I'm a little bit more positive about now is that Slot will give him the opportunity to play the game or two he needs to get his medal, because that's the only thing that matters now. Federico definitely deserves to get a medal. He might not have played a lot, but he's still a Liverpool player, so I want him to get a league winners medal. So that's the only thing that makes me a little bit more positive now, that I think he will. But I don't think he'll be
I don't think top Reds do sentiment though, Drift. That's the thing. Drift.
Don't.
No.
Yeah. Although they pick and choose though, because if I'm not mistaken, Drift, they paid the former manager some money even though he left. Crazy, huh? But yeah, that's another story for another day.
The media.
That's must be told.
Wrap round this. That's what we told the media. You think we paid someone who said they want to leave? You must be mad.
Oh no, but I think you actually did, because the reports are there for everyone to see.
Oh, you mean
crazy how we made so much money, but we made a loss. Crazy, huh?
Cooking the
unless you lot want to admit something that you shouldn't be doing.
Hey. You don't kiss and tell around here.
Yeah. That's how we got them accountants on lot. They're not caring about them, man. There, just expose the thing. You get me?
Hey. Money don't change. We are money changer. And if you diss, we are danger. We're good, baby. We're good over here, bro.
You man are just thieves, but we moved.
We're good over here, man. Don't worry, money ain't an issue, bro. Money ain't an issue.
You man are just thief up money.
You call it teeth and we call it.
Do you know how funny it would be if we found out Jay Henry actually listens to dancehall?
Probably does.
Of course he does, man. That's a culture.
No way.
Right, probably does.
Look, shout out to Tway. 881 people watching, only 342 likes. As I said, We've seen this
I
before.
mean, 978 in total. We gotta get them likes up, people.
Can't get them likes, people. We need to be on at least 500 likes. Boys, before we wrap up, anything you want to say?
No, I'm not gonna lie. People are saying you need to drop the app before you're not allowed to the parade anymore.
Who's gonna stop me, bro? I'll sit in the box with my man in a minute. You lot can stand on the streets, bro. You lot can stand on the streets. I gotta be with you lot then. I'll find somewhere that will accommodate me. You lot do your thing. Anything you lot want to say before we take the people out?
No, I'm flabbergasted. Guys, he's in too deep.
Pause. What can I say?
Man, am I gonna have to start calling you SP Cow?
TRC. That's my name. TRC. Top Red Cow.
You're in a sunken place.
Oh no, I'm in a happy place. I'm in light.
You're in a sunken place.
When you lot want to join,
FSG broke you, fam.
When you lot want to join, then I'll open the gates for you guys to join. Maybe not you yet, Matt. You got some repenting to do. Drift, my name.
Maybe no gates.
Jamrock says, hold on, Green Elite disrespecting LFC fans like that. That would include all of us in the chat. Now, Green Elite needs to be blocked from the channel of True. We'll sort stuff out, Jamrock. We'll sort stuff out. Don't worry. We'll sort stuff out. But look, people, we're going to wrap up there. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel.
Long time me like killer, man. The same, man.
This will be redirected to Big Six Bants with Monts. So check that out. Be over there in a couple minutes as well. Boys, anything you want to add?
Long time in a killer, man. How we circling like a little man. That's what I'm gonna say, man.
Cool. People, enough love to you all. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kop-Ish, you're out. See you at the top. TRC, baby.
What's that? Spreadsheets for life. Pause.
Always.